What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing my post-week 6 power rankings, but pre-week 7. Alright, let's get right into it, fellas. Make sure to subscribe and sack that like button as that we do so. So, coming in at number 32, I got the Detroit Lions, the only winless team left in the NFL. Look, this team, they actually may not be the worst team in the NFL. They didn't play. They got beat really badly this past week, but they've played very tough against very good teams. So I mean, they may not be as bad as their record says, but at the end of the day, they're the only winless team. At number 31, the Miami Dolphins losing to the Jaguars in London, and the Jaguars hadn't lost since September of 2020. My goodness, this team has completely unraveled. At number 30, got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Got their first win in 20 games. They snapped their 20-game losing streak going back all the way to last year, all the way to week 1 of last year. Got the win. At least they got themselves a clutch kicker now, too. At number 29, my bad, the Texans. They actually jumped up one from last week, despite them getting blown out 31-3. But it doesn't change that they suck. At number 28, the Giants. The Giants really made me look bad this past Sunday. I picked them to beat the Rams in an upset win, and they just got their you know what handled. So yeah. At number 27, we got the other New York team, the Jets. They were on a bye this past week. At number 26, the Washington football team. They just lost to the Chiefs, and their defense just doesn't have an answer for anyone. At number 25, the Eagles. The Eagles climb up. The Eagles are this high too, mainly because, they played Tampa very tough in that Thursday night game. They played the Chiefs very tough. They're a tough team, similar to the Lions, except they at least have a couple of wins. At number 24, the Colts. They easily could be. Right now they're 2-4. They could easily be 3-3. They really had Baltimore in that Monday night game last week, and they blew it. But they bounced back this week, beating their division rival in a big game, 31-3. At number 23, the Seahawks, who lost in a heartbreaking fashion game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, a Geno Smith fumble. Rumor has it they may be looking into signing Cam Newton, which is interesting because Cam, it almost surprises me because it's not that Cam Newton isn't better than Geno Smith. I think Cam Newton is better than Geno Smith, and I think most people would agree with that. But my thing is, Geno Smith has already been the backup for this team for, I think, 1 or 2 years, so he knows the system. He knows the players. You bring in Cam Newton, and, he doesn't know the playbook, doesn't really know the team that well. And it's just for, once Wilson comes back, no matter how good Newton does, you're going to put Wilson back in. So I'm not sure if it's a smart move for them. At number 22, Cam Newton's former team, the Patriots, lost in another heartbreaker. This team is 2-4, but they easily could be 5-1 if not for that fumble against the Dolphins, if not for that missed field goal and fumble against the Bucks, if not now for that pick 6 to Trayvon Diggs, and they then even took the lead afterwards. And their defense had them on the Cowboys on a 3rd and forever, and the Cowboys got a big chunk of the yards to then get into field goal range. So they really have choked a lot of games. At number 21, speaking of chokers, the Falcons coming off a bye. Matt Ryan's been playing pretty well as of late, but we'll see where this team goes from there. At number 20, the 49ers, they had a bye week this week too. It was much needed, try to get more healthy. I don't think they've officially named a starter for their game next week against the Colts. But regardless of who it is, I think they'll steamroll the Colts on Sunday Night Football. And I think Jimmy Garoppolo will probably get the start. At number 19, the Carolina Panthers started off 3-0. Now they're 3-3. I will say this, though, Sam Darnold did put a heck of a drive together with, about less than, 2 minutes about, and 2 minutes about, 2 timeouts, I think, at his own 4-yard line. They need a touchdown, a 2-point conversion. He drove down 96 yards, got a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion with very limited time, despite his receivers dropping a lot of passes in that drive, and they converted a couple of times on 4th down. But then in overtime, they were not fortunate enough to get the ball first, and the Vikings went down and won the game. At number 18, the Bears. The Bears hung around a bit there with the Packers and made it a respectable game, but Justin Fields just doesn't really seem 100% in sync with the offense, and it's not really completely his fault. They're lacking a bit of a running game now with some injuries, and the receiving core is very limited to just Allen Robinson. Yeah. At number 17, the Broncos, another team that was 3-0 and is now 3-3. This team really lacks a quarterback. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater, it's a good story. He's a cool guy. He's not a starting quarterback in this league anymore. Drew Lock, he's a bust. They really need a quarterback. And, at this point, I think they need to just either sign Cam Newton, try and trade for Matt Ryan, try and trade for Jimmy Garoppolo, because this is a team that can be a playoff contender this year if they have a quarterback, just an average quarterback. They need a starting caliber quarterback. At number 16, the Steelers, who got another win now against the Seahawks. At number 15, the Vikings. The Vikings 3-3. They're another team that could easily be 5-1, but they're not. They're 3-3. I think partially a big part of the reason for that is Mike Zimmer and Kirk Cousins. I think Mike Zimmer makes weird decisions late in games a lot of the times, and Kirk Cousins, he just folds under pressure. I don't trust Kirk Cousins. I think the Vikings should try and give Kellen Mond a shot at some point this year, but I don't really think Kellen Mond's the answer to them at quarterback. I think we could be seeing the Vikings drafting a quarterback this upcoming draft. At number 14, the Browns, who are suddenly riddled with injuries. Baker Mayfield got hurt. Nick Chubb who was already hurt. Kareem Hunt got hurt. OBJ got hurt. Baker Mayfield dislocated his shoulder now twice in 4 weeks. I believe he will play this Thursday against the Broncos, which is insane, but he's obviously banged up. And Kareem Hunt, I saw he's going to miss a couple of weeks. Nick Chubb, he's trending in the right direction according to Kevin Stefanski. I don't think that means he's going to play this Thursday, though. And OBJ, it's a little unclear what is going on with him at this time. But this is a team that I think a lot of people did not think after 6 games they would be sitting at 500. And they just got steamrolled by the Cardinals. I thought they would win that game. But no, they did not. And a big reason for that is the injuries. I mean, when you have your starting quarterback, your top 2 running backs, and your number 1/number 2 receiver out, it's obviously very hard to win if you don't have all those pieces. At number 13, you got my Kansas City Chiefs. Got in the win column this time around. Offense looked good in the second half. The defense played better, but it's not really impressive to slow down Taylor Heineke and that offense. But definitely trending in the right direction there. The Chiefs got a big game against the Titans next week. At number 12, I got the Saints, who coming off a bye. At number 11, the Raiders, who got a statement win over the Broncos, and they bounced back nicely from the rough week they've had. At number 10, the Bengals, one of the more surprising teams of this league. Not surprising to me. I expected them to be better, but maybe not this much better, and they're at 4-2. At number 9, the Chargers, who just got beat the crap out of by the Ravens, 34-6. I picked the Ravens to win that game, mainly because it's extremely hard for a team from the West Coast to come play in the East Coast on a 1 o'clock window. It's like playing at 10 in the morning. So yeah, but I didn't think it would be a blowout like that. At number 8, the Bills, who choked last night. I picked the Titans to win, and I got that one correct as well. I did expect, though, the Titans to maybe have a little bit more of a constant control of the game, but the Bills, it really was the Bills' game, and they just let it slip away. and then that 4th-and-1 call, which I think was the right call. I think it was the right call. I think it was the right decision to go for it on 4th-and-1. And I think it was the right play call to do a QB sneak. I don't think that's really on the coach. I think that's just simply on the quarterback. The quarterback couldn't get the push up front. He slipped on himself. I mean, what kind of clown does that? Am I right? At number 7, the Titans, the team that just beat the Bills. They're 4-2, and it's crazy how the NFL is. One week you lose to the Jets, and the next week you struggle a bit with the Jaguars, and then you beat the Bills the week after that. So the Titans are definitely looking good. They did get a really tough injury though. Caleb Farley out, and it's feared that he has torn his ACL. That's a big blow, but that Titans secondary is even good without him. Still have Janoris Jenkins, Elijah Molden, the rookie, and Kevin Byard. So yeah, that team's looking good, and Julio Jones is looking good. AJ Brown's looking good. Honestly, I think really what's holding that offense back from the next level is Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill, in my opinion, is a below-average quarterback who's playing on a loaded team. I think if they were able to get someone who could bring it up a notch, that team could be very explosive. At number 6, the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears still. That's what I got from that game. And also that the officiating is completely bullshit. But, that's how it goes. But Packers at number 6. But like I say every week, who really thinks the Packers are going to win in the playoffs? Besides Packers fans and Shailene Woodley. I mean, who really thinks that? At number 5, I got the Dallas Cowboys. Got a overtime thrilling win over the Patriots. Looked like they were going to win it. Then it looked like they were going to lose it. Then it looked like they were going to win it again. And then it looked like they were going to lose it. And then they won it anyway. This team is very intriguing to me. I really can't figure this team out. I don't know if this is a team that is going to be a true team that continues its dominance as the year goes along. And if I had to bet my money on it, I think they are. This team's a very well-built team and is pretty balanced. My only question with this team is, once they have to face some very tough passing attacks, I don't know if their secondary can handle it. I mean, yeah, you got Trevon Diggs, but he's really their only good player in that entire secondary. I think it's very possible they elevate the linebacker Keanu Neal to safety because Keanu Neal has played safety his entire career, and if they're getting burned, they're going to need all the help they can get at safety because I don't know, when they play Tampa, when they play the Chiefs, when they play Green Bay, if they play Arizona, At number 4, I got the Buccaneers. Not really an impressive performance for them on offense or defense against the Eagles, but they got the job done in that Thursday night game in that hostile atmosphere in Philadelphia. Richard Sherman is out for a few weeks, no surprise there. But this team is looking very strong though offensively. Antonio Brown is literally like the number 1 target there, and if Mike Evans and Chris Godwin is Tom Brady's second and third read most of the time, wow. But their main issue though is on defense, stopping the pass. They're a very good front 7. They can stop the run. They can generate good pass rush, and that generating of good pass rush definitely bails out that horrendous secondary. But they definitely have some issues in the secondary. At number 3, the Rams. The Rams proved me wrong this past week, and they blew out the Giants. I still don't believe that Matthew Stafford is going to be able to take them to the next level in the playoffs, but we got to wait and see. At number 2, the Ravens. The Ravens looking very strong right now. Their defense looks good. Their offense looks good. Lamar Jackson is starting to become more of a pure passer, and the running is almost like a second option for him, and he's making great throws. He just looks very poised and very calm as a quarterback now. My only question is, can you do this in the playoffs? At number 1, the Cardinals. For another week, the Cardinals are the only undefeated team right now. They're at 6-0. I don't know who they play this week, but I know after this week they play the Packers Thursday night. that's a big gain. Early predictions for that one, I got the Cardinals. That's still a bit of away. But yeah, the Cardinals at number one. I mean, they're probably the most complete team in football right now. I mean, you got Kyler Murray at quarterback, the dual threat quarterback. They got a good running back in James Conner. They got a good offensive line. They got now they just traded for Zach Ertz last week. Now they filled in that one area they were missing on offense, tight end. And then they also have obviously DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Green, who's completely been revived, and the speedy rookie Rondale Moore. And then on defense, they have a great front seven. They got Chandler Jones, J.J. Watt, Isaiah Simmons, Zaven Collins, the rookie. Got two good veteran corners in Jonathan Joseph and Robert Alford. But yeah, they're a very good team. But my knock on them, and it's going to be my knock on them all season long, no matter how much they win, is this is an unexperienced team that we have here with Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury never being in a playoff game. I mean, yeah, sure, a team that's never a quarterback head coach duo that's never been in a playoff team can win a Super Bowl. It has happened before, but it's very tough on those guys, and I can see this team easily getting the number one seed this year, and then losing in the divisional round at home. And that's just the way I see this team. But right now, they're looking very good, and they're definitely the best team in football. Well, that's pretty much it for the list. If you think my list sucks ass, then make your own list, make your own YouTube channel. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.